Hello, good morning. Thank you so very much for joining us on our breakfast show this morning. It's the Morning Tonic You Ingest once every 24 hours right here on this particular channel. It's channel 176 on Star Times. My name is Ugochukwu Matimiri, and not to worry, I'm not the only face you're going to be seeing today on your screen. The very beautiful Cynthia is also still very much here on the show, but you get to see her face much later. And so very quickly, without wasting much of our time, let's start off with the program this morning, and we're starting off with health and wellness. Stay with us. So to answer this question, it's now time for me to make welcome the very beautiful, the very amazing, the effervescent. You haven't heard that one before. Yeah, that's a new one. Cynthia Agbo, good morning. Welcome to the show.
It's a beautiful morning, bright and early. Beautiful Thursday. It's our Talk Thursday. And I'm sure that my day will not be complete if I'm not here. So it's better I just...
Yeah, that's because I'm going to be here too, so...
Who are you in the scheme of things?
A principal element.
Anyways, yeah. So back to your question. It's all about eating healthy. It's all about eating what is right and appropriate for your body. The mention of fat, sugar, and the likes. So, I mean, I've always had a problem with people who have pizza and soda.
So what would you rather have pizza with?
Water. Or perhaps a glass of wine. Yes. Don't forget that you're not even supposed to have water immediately after eating. Or you're supposed to have it before eating and some minutes after eating. So it's still, so imagine you're having the ingredients used to making pizza is not something you should even be having every day. And then with soda, we all know how soda is. So you're having pizza and soda. That's chaotic. I've never even seen the sense in it before. And so having it on our health and wellness this morning is even perfect, you know, for some people who have this attitude of always going to have. I know a person that for every time she eats, she will always have a bottle of soda for every time. So imagine she eats like 3 times a day.
It helps to wash it down, like they say.
A very cold one. so imagine you have to eat 3 times a day. So that means you're having 3 bottles of soda. What are you doing to yourself?
It's actually really crazy. But talking about food combinations, it's something that's become really common with us. You go to a restaurant and you're hearing one guy making an other. Egusi and vegetable. Put oha soup and draw. Like there's usually something like that.
You know, someone say that.
I think it's practically impossible not to combine foods. There are literally very few things that you can eat on their own and truly enjoy.
Okay, so it is really not about the combination. Combining food is not a problem. It's what are you combining? It has never really been about not combining. It's about what are you combining.
I mean, but it tastes so great.
Really? Do you know how many things taste so great? Have you had, but are not healthy?
Have you had, like, for instance, this pizza and soda we're talking about? Try mixing it up in your mouth. Like
I will not try it.
The sensation is
there is no
beautiful.
sensation. There's no sensation there, Ugo.
Okay, so the last one was yogurt and fruits. And you know people make smoothies with that. So you want to tell me now, like, it's really unhealthy to blend yogurt
and what?
And fruits. Let's say a banana or a watermelon, you know.
Okay, so because people do something doesn't make it good.
I mean, but it tastes so good.
No, we
you
come
take
back.
it and
We come back
you
again.
also feel good.
Okay, so let's look at something. So it is not like a dress and a shoe. You say, okay, oh, I wore this color of dress and I wore this color of shoe. Even though I like it, it looks so good. Is it the right way to combine it? No. But because you like the way it looks and you feel like it looks great on you, you take it and go, right? That's the thing. But now this is now different because this one has to do with inside of your body. And so you discover why some people start having constipation. So many of things like this, it may not react on your body, right? But then another person will try the same thing and it will react on their body. So at the end of the day, I always like to say, know your body, know what is not good for you. So tips like this are good. And I always tell people, adhere as much as possible. Don't kill yourself, but as much as possible, if you can, adhere to tips like this because your body will react. Sometimes you find yourself having constipation and you're wondering, oh, what happened? You find yourself having bloating, you're wondering what happened, right? Some of these things can show you little signs that, oh, you're not supposed to eat this, you're not supposed to do that, you're not supposed to do that. There's sometimes I take yogurt and something and the next thing I start feeling, I'm like, okay. Like right now, I'm having serious running stomach and I'm trying to find out what have I combined?
Confession time.
Okay. So I'm trying to ask myself, what have I eaten? What have I combined? What is actually reacting to my stomach? Oh, I've been eating this for like 3 days, right? And I've noticed this. Oh, okay, that's like since 1 week. And I've noticed that at intervals when I eat, on some days when I eat this thing, I have this reaction. But then I still go back again to eat it because what? It tastes good. And then now again, I am having an adverse reaction, right? And then I'm like, oh, but it tastes so good. Really? Come on. So most times
we all have addictions like that.
No, that can never be my addiction. Never.
I mean, there is food addiction, and it's not just like, oh, you like to eat. There's just that one thing that even if they say, this thing they kill person, you go still want shop them.
For this thing question, no way.
All right, we're back and very relatable, very simple, yet appeared sophisticated. Cynthia was screaming in appreciation.
Wait. Are you sure it's the same me?
I mean, I could hear you. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. Would look good on you. Would look good.
Look good on who?
On you. That would look good on me. That, you know. Yeah.
In as much as I like the outfit. They're so simple, but then you need to have a good tailor to pull that off. Or how do they call it? Fashion designer.
Let me say it differently.
Tailor.
Good soup. Now it's in Duam. Nah, money, Kayla.
Your own is about money. Jeez. Sometimes just get a very good material. Like, it doesn't have to be so expensive. The clothes are nice. Like these patterns are very good. They're very nice, you know. Look at it, very relatable. Some Ankara here and there. Go to Suleja market, you see Ankara that are not so expensive.
And you pay with what?
Cowries. Or shillings. So yeah, but it was actually, and then the designer, yeah, it's actually very, very good. No, so do you realize that the designer is the person that was doing that thing on the wall?
I mean, that's
did you notice?
I did not until the end, but it's a different concept.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not understand. I was like, what's this guy's own? What are you doing there? Why are you drawing while people are walking the runway? I mean, it added its own color to the whole thing.
I actually
literally.
I actually like the fact that they explore different runways I mean, this is what I keep saying. Our Nigerian fashion organizers, they need to come to a time where shows like this shouldn't be done always in a hall. In this, explore our beautiful spaces. We have outdoor spaces that could be set up. You know, we have good. In fact, you can even use a clothes. You can even use a clothes, set your lights, and get these people working their legs on that place. Like, it will look so beautiful. We have lots
of fine places in Abuja. I mean,
yes, even in Lagos.
Bridge, Lokogoma Junction, Galadima roundabout.
Jesus Christ.
Bega.
Really?
Karu on the bridge.
What?
Come on, there's Gwagwalada.
What?
There's lots of places
That's
you can
what I'm talking about.
I thought we were talking about being creative with the runway, isn't it? You could use...
So how do you want to walk under the bridge?
That's for the organizers. Yeah.
You know, I am not going to talk about that. I'm sure those who are in charge of this, they understand what I'm saying.
We've actually shown fashion runways here that were done outdoor, yeah?
That's what I'm saying. Outdoor, yes. You can pick a clothes. You can pick... you could pick a rooftop. You could pick. I mean, we have lots of beautiful places in Abuja, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, different places. We have some nice places that can even be used for runway in Calabar. You know, in Akwa Ibom. There's so many beautiful spaces that could be used. It's all about the setup, really. Your lights, the setup, and everything, basically. And it can be used. So gonna do this where runway has to be in a certain way. In as much as there's a smooth ground. I mean, some people even use, there's some places we see that even have lots of stairs and they have to move, just set up a stage and all of that. So yes, I know we're gonna get there, just a matter of time, we're gonna get there. Talking about getting there, let's see what the big stories are on our national day list this morning. Some persons have been trying not to listen to the news this period because you go to the news and you read the papers and you just see something that is going to make you
a lot of time to have a conversation about the new 0.5% cybersecurity levy that the CBN wants to start. And I was just taking a quick look. Someone put up on social media current bank transaction taxes in Nigeria. Let's even leave the whole cybersecurity thing. There's a 50 naira stamp duty on every money you receive.
Yes.
There's transfer fees as a sender. They charge you 10 naira if you send 5,000. So it's 20 naira if you send 10,000 and so on and so forth. And then there's value added tax that's also undertaken by the sender, and there's SMS fee, which is 4 naira on each electronic transfer. In fact, every weekend, both of two of the banks that I majorly use, they always debit me, and the debit runs into sometimes 200, sometimes 250, sometimes 150 every weekend. And that's not to talk about the ones that they do, in between, all of the 10 naira, 20 naira, and all of that. And then on top of that, currently, we now have the cybersecurity levy, which means that every time you send 1,000, they will take 5 naira. Every time you send 10,000, they will take 50 naira. If you send 100,000, they take 500. Anything will make you send 1 million, they will take 5,000 out of your account. And anything that makes you send 10 million naira, that means you would be paying tax to the tune of 50,000 naira. Cybersecurity levy. And you ask yourself, okay, what is cybersecurity? That's basically protecting your account from the activities of these fraudsters, these people who operate online. Was it not just a couple of days ago that one of the celebrities, I think it was Shan George, who complained, or who rather made a video reporting that 3 million naira
3.6
was taken out of her account.
It was recovered, actually.
Okay.
So yesterday she her bank, in fact, I was so surprised. I must give it to Zenith Bank this time around. I was so surprised that
Would it have an address like that if it was someone else, or if she did not?
I don't think if it were to be some. I mean, don't forget that yes, Shan George had a time where she was the name. Do you understand? But right now, Shan George is not as it's not among the A list as she used to be before. She gets so people.
But she's still a celebrity nonetheless, because
you know
there's
how
no
long
way
it
you would
took.
mention her name and people will not know who you're talking about. Whether she is
There's some people who don't know Shan George.
whether she's a new card or an old card, like just mention the name, people will know.
No, some people don't know Shan George actually, because at a point she went down and she started focusing on producing and doing some other things and all of that. But it's not even about that. It just shows that, because I remember when it happened, she was online. In fact, she had to tag Tunde Edna, tag a lot of people, Very Dark Man, the rest of them. But I don't even think about it. I don't even think it was about these people that she tagged. It was about Nigerians who were like, they saw the story and they were like, because now they started resharing, blogs started
And
carrying
if it can
it.
happen to one person, that means it can happen to me as well.
And don't forget that they've been, the CBN have been having conversations regarding some of these quick money apps, like the Money Point, the Opay, and the rest of them. They've always had issues with, these people are not as trustworthy. But Nigerians have felt like, okay, these people have served us because of when we used to have bank problems, these people were there. But it's not about being there, it's about how safe is the platform you get. So when this thing happened, I was really rooting for her to solve the problem. And when yesterday she made a video, she went live yesterday at 7 p.m. To really talk about how it happened, how the bank so both banks had to come together to find a way, to sort out, because the person that withdrew the money withdrew it into the O account. Do you understand now? So it was more like, how? So I must say kudos to our banks.
Should
actually
that have happened in the first place? And now that you're saying cybersecurity levies on you're tasking Nigerians rather on cybersecurity, does it mean we're never going to start having issues where money mysteriously disappears from your account? Because that's something that a lot of people complain about. They go to the banks to even lay complaints. They call customer care and they keep telling you, the issue is going to be resolved. And before you know it, 1 month is gone, 2 months is gone, 3 months, and you have not seen your money. I think Shan George was lucky to have had her request or her pleas attended to in the speed of time that it was. But I mean, for a whole lot of other people, they've not exactly enjoyed that level of efficiency in banking service.
Don't forget that the cybersecurity levy will start 2 weeks from the date that it was announced. So
now,
let's
there's been a lot of outcry. For instance,
it's time for sports.
I don't remember it's
time for sports.
It's Talk Thursday, so we have to talk.
No, it's time for sports.
We have to talk.
We have a lot of time to talk from now.
All right, let's postpone the conversation up till then, because there's a whole lot to talk about regarding this cybersecurity issue. The workers are saying they do not accept it, and I stand beside them if they are going to be serious this time around, because it's not the first time they say, we don't like this thing. Before you know it, I mean, they change mouths. I don't know what influences the change in their decisions, but I mean, we'll get to talk more about that much later on the show. Yes, we actually saw what should have been the final of the Champions League last night. While I was watching it,
what should have been, or
yes.
what it is?
I mean, it was a semi-final, but I feel like it should have been. I mean, it had all the makings of a football final.
Such is life.
Yeah, it was. I mean, lots of controversies. Well, let's get to talk about it on the sports show. Yes, indeed. Give it to Real Madrid. They are not record time winners of the Champions League for nothing. They are not regarded as one of the finest football clubs on planet for nothing. Because tell me how that Bayern Munich had scored in the second half of that match and felt like, oh, they had gotten the job done. But out of the blues, in the most dramatic and the most phenomenal manner, we saw Real Madrid coming back in phenomenal fashion. Vinicius Jr. Very instrumental, very influential in that fantastic win, and a tactical one as well for Carlo Ancelotti, having to have the two players that he made substitutions for. They were the ones that scored the goals, Joselu and Brahim Diaz. We'll get to talk about that right after we show you the sound and the sights from the Santiago Bernabeu last night. Yes, indeed. Real Madrid 2, Bayern 1, 4-3 in aggregate. Carlo Ancelotti has not lost any of the 10 Champions League games against Bayern Munich. The most times the manager has faced an opponent without losing in the competition's history. And guess what? Madrid have reached the Champions League final in 6 of the last 11 seasons. And all German team final if Bayern Munich had held on to their 1-0 advantage sometime in the closing stages of that game. But of course, Joselu said no, scoring twice. I remember just last season, Joselu was playing for Espanyol, and you could look at the tactical decisions by both managers. Carlo Ancelotti, masterclass, absolutely masterclass, from Don Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, you could see his cold attitude even when Real Madrid, came from behind to actually get into the lead in that particular game. His changes, I believe, were very tactical and instrumental in that particular game, which is in contrast to the decisions made by Thomas Tuchel. I mean, how do you explain taking off Jamal Musiala, taking off Harry Kane, even though in the post-match comment that he made, he said he had to do ruled out for offside. And a lot of people are saying, oh, that should have been a goal. But what you need to understand is that the linesman had already raised his flag indicating offside. And I think what that means is that it simply made it impossible for the referee to go back to look at the VAR. And you have to give it to Real Madrid. They were phenomenal on the night. They lived up to their name. The White Angels, the Lemerengues, the Los Blancos, the only team to have won the Champions League 14 record times. There's nobody who has ever done it. And moving on to the final now, I mean, you could say it's Uhuru is already done and dusted for Madrid. It could be their 15th trophy in the Champions League. But then again, 90 minutes will decide, especially when they go up against the firepower of Borussia Dortmund. So it's a tool of two players who've had contrasting fortunes. We have a Jadon Sancho who, of course, this season, earlier part of this season, did play for Manchester United, had some sort of dramatic back and forth with his coach Erik ten Hag, moved back to Borussia Dortmund on loan, and now we'll be playing in Champions League. And of course, we have a Harry Kane who's been trophyless for God knows how long, and now comes to a title-winning Bayern Munich, and he is unfortunate not to win a title in his very first season in charge. Thomas Tuchel is still the man who is at the helm at Bayern Munich. Will he continue next season? Well, only time will tell. Let's turn our attention to what's going to happen later on tonight. Well, indeed, from one phenomenal team to another. Yes, we're talking about the heroics of Real Madrid, but then again, what about the unflinching determination of this team in Germany, Bayer Leverkusen, who, of course, have gone almost 50 games unbeaten this season, and they're yet on the brink of creating another record. Xabi Alonso's rampage in Bayer Leverkusen will have another additional incentive in tonight's second leg Europa League semi-final against Roma, breaking a 59-year-old European football record. Well, avoiding defeat against Roma on Thursday will not only mean a trip to Dublin for the Europa League final, it will also extend their unbeaten run to 49 games. Talking about it alone is absolutely divine. The best mark in European football history. And Eusebio inspired Benfica went on a 48-game unbeaten streak between 1963 and 1965. The record has stood since. But guess what? There is a team that is inching to break that particular record, and that's no other than Bayer Leverkusen. Alonso's side has already overtaken Juventus's 43-match unbeaten run from 2010 to 2012, which was the best of a team in the top 5 European leagues. Leverkusen won 2-0 in Rome last week and could progress to the final even with a 1-goal loss. But breaking the record would be yet another outstanding achievement in a brilliant season. Of course, after the match on Saturday, or rather on Sunday, between Bayer Leverkusen and Eintracht Frankfurt, in which they won 5-1. Leverkusen goalkeeper and captain Lukas Radecki said pursuit of an unbeaten season gave his side extra motivation. And time again, when it looks like, oh, the record is about to be broken, out of the magic box, they managed to pull out some sort of miracle, some sort of drama, some sort of abracadabra, some hocus pocus, and before you know it, it's Bayer Leverkusen unbeaten yet again. And will it happen tonight? Well, we've got the Roma, who, of course, are being tutored by none other than De Rossi. Remember his heroics in the Champions League in that second leg comeback win against Barcelona. It was quite phenomenal to watch. The commentary of Peter Drury quite resounding at this very point. Well, already crowned Bundesliga champions for the first time in April. Leverkusen are through to the German Cup final, where they face second division Kaiserslautern. So there's also that talk of a treble winning season for Xabi Alonso. The Bundesliga already in their kitty, final of the Pokal Cup in Germany, and at the very brink of reaching the Europa League final as well. Well, avoiding defeat on Thursday, will set up a meeting with either Atlanta or Marseille in the Europa League finals in Dublin. And we're talking about team news. Leverkusen have managed to keep their stunning run going despite Alonso deciding to rest players. Attacking midfielder Florian Wirtz and wing-back Alex Grimaldo were left out of the squad early, entirely actually on Sunday. Well, they should be making a return later on tonight. Well, there's also the match involving Atlanta and Marseille. Gianluca Scamacca will lead the line in Atlanta's bid to reach their first ever European final, as the striker's hot form puts him firmly in frame for Euro 2024. Classic centre forward Scamacca has had an up and down season with Atlanta, but is in the form of his life on the eve of Thursday's second leg of the Europa League semi-final with Marseille. Well, he scored 10 times and set up another in his last 12 matches, and his season low finish last week ensured Atlanta came away from a Stade Velodrome with a 1-1 draw after having their backs to the wall for the large parts of the first leg in southern France. So there's quite a lot to play for in this particular match tonight. And remember that Atlanta are coming off the back of a 2-1 victory against Salernitana in the Italian Serie A. That match was played on Monday, and of course they are 5th in the Italian Serie A at the moment. Well, there's a lot to decide tonight, who gets to play in the Europa League final, and there's also the Conference League semi-finals, where of course Aston Villa have somewhat of a mountain to climb, because the first leg between Olympiacos and Aston Villa ended 4-2 in favor of Olympiacos, and so we're going to be having the second leg of that match. Can Unai Emery be able to overturn that 4-2 deficit? Well, it's only time that will tell. Well, whoever wins tonight is going to be playing Fiorentina, who made progress yesterday, despite the fact that Club Brugge had led 1-0 for a greater part of that game. But unfortunately, Fiorentina did score in the closing stages of that game to progress 4-3 on aggregate. So whoever wins tonight gets to face Fiorentina. So Fiorentina making it back-to-back in the Conference League finals. They were up against West Ham last season, and this time around they are up against against either of Aston Villa and Olympiacos. I mean, a lot of people, I believe, would be rooting for Aston Villa, but let's see what happens later on tonight. And Unai Emery said he would wait to see if first-choice goalkeeper Emiliano was fit to play after getting injured against Chelsea in later. But I believe his inclusion would be a big plus for Aston Villa later on tonight with Oli Watkins, Musa Diaby, Cash, John McGinn, and the rest of the lads right there. Well, let's round off with one of the beautiful games to ever be played, and that's talking about tennis, because we'll have a Italian Open already on the way. Rafa Nadal said he is encouraged by his steady progress after returning from injury last month as the 14 times French Open champion continues in his preparation for Roland Garros at this week's Rome Masters. Nadal, who has said he expects to retire after this season, spent most of last year nursing a hip issue that required surgery before a muscle tear in Brisbane stalled his comeback in January. The 37-year-old returned to the tour during the clay swing 4 tournaments in Barcelona and Madrid and is fit enough to play his third event in a row in Rome. We're wishing him all the very best. He has an opener tonight against Zizou Bex. We also have Novak Djokovic in action later on tonight. He targets peak form, and the last time that he played was at Monte Carlo Masters in April, where he lost to Kaspar Ruud in the semi-finals, and the 24 times Grand Slam champion is still seeking his first trophy of the season. All right, everyone. Well, there's still much to talk about, but unfortunately, this is where the cookie crumbles, because he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. It's been a fantastic, phenomenal run with you this morning. A big congratulations to the White Angels, the Le Merengues, the Los Blancos, Real Madrid fans, Hala Madrid, and of course, let's see what happens later on tonight as we look forward to the weekend as well. There's a lot to look forward to with regards to the Premier League, the German Bundesliga, the Ligue 1 in France, the Spanish La Liga, and of course the Italian Serie A. There's also a lot of conversation and a lot of expectation as Finidi George is expected to announce his assistance for the Super Eagles coaching job very soon. So we keep our fingers crossed, literally, for that one to happen. Well, until tomorrow, do enjoy the rest of your day as we continue on The Breakfast Show.
Yeah, this one, what's it? My name is Akil Sakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Theo Bliss.
My name is Akaba. I go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. I love Rapid TV.
Shout out Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
This is Rapid TV.
Rapid
TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it down.
Leave it like that.
My name is Akio Sakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Theo Bliss.
My name is Akava. I go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out
Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
You certainly have to keep watching the best TV on earth, Rapid TV. Kuchuku Madmer is my name. We are back, and there's a lot of talk that we promised you, and all of those talk has to happen. Yes, because we're in the habit of keeping to our promise, aren't we?
Yes, keep it to.
So very quickly, let's look at what the papers are saying this morning. Let's look at the big headlines on all of the national dailies. Let's start from there. Very quickly this morning, we start off with the Daily Trust newspaper. Road crashes kill 295, injure 315 in 3 months. And we have Speaker overrules member calling for suspension of cybersecurity levy. Why? Well, I imagine there'll be more details on that particular story on Daily Trust newspaper. PDP kicks as plot to impeach Fubara thickens. All of the brouhaha unfolding with regards to the Rivers State government there. Well, that's it on Daily Trust this morning.
And moving on to Sporting Sun, Napoli values. Okay, how do you call that again?
Varaskelia.
What?
Varaskelia.
Varaskelia.
Yeah.
More than Osime. Our very Osime? Now I'm not happy. Iheanacho teases upcoming music release. Oh, no way. Really? Okay, sounds like fun. Bukayo, can we take it upwards a bit? Can we take it to the top, please? All right, so Bukayo Saka takes a lie detector test. Really, what's the reason? Mbappe storms out of interview after being asked Real Madrid question. Okay, and then we have Real Madrid 2-1 Bayern Munich. VAR gives it to Real Madrid. Spanish giant wins heavy cracker. And something on Lookman, my AFCON goal against Cameroon was extra special.
It was special for us watching. So I imagine how more special it will be for him that scored the goal.
All right, so we also have something on Chelsea. Chelsea ready to, can we take it upwards, please? Thank you. Chelsea ready to offload Sterling in swap deal. I hope so. All right, let's now move on.
You hope so? Are you speaking on behalf of Chelsea fans now? Okay, well, Daily Independent is up next. Rivers crisis gets messier as pro-Fubara speaker emerges. PDP warns pro-Wike lawmakers against creating anarchy, says impeachment may trigger crisis, derail democracy, warns APC can't forcefully take over Rivers, alerts IGP. There's a story on minimum wage, outcome of federal government's committee will shape states' decision, coming from Governor Sule. Cybersecurity levy. Federal government milking a dying economy, coming from Obi. I wonder if this could have been said any truer than this. Bill to create unemployment benefit scheme scales second reading at Senate. Claim of $150 bribe by Binance. Diversionary act of blackmail coming from federal government. That was actually an interesting story because in the aftermath of the whole Binance drama, it was said that when one of the officials were arrested, that they approached the anti-graft agency officials and said, or rather that the anti-graft agency officials approached one of them and said, oh, if you if you're able to give us this, we'll make all of this trouble go away. And now the federal government says claim of $150 million bribe by Binance, diversionary, and an act of blackmail. So who do we believe now? Court restrains PDP from removing Damagum as acting chairman. And the big story on Daily Independent this morning, 2 weeks after, federal government yet to write helicopter operators on new $300 landing levy. Operators query contractor structure, seek meeting with minister, lament 1,000 rise in airworthiness certificate fee. I don't understand. Like, they are taxing everyone. Like, whatever you do, a levy has to be paid, whether you're a business owner, you're working, whatever. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. But then again, those are the headlines on Daily Independence this morning.
Okay, let's take this one. Then we'll take the last spot and move on to another conversation. The Daily Times, TUC threatens total shutdown nationwide if describes levy as extortion, illogical, coming at a time Nigerians are grappling with high costs of living. Levy provocative. Suspended Dean of Borno Elders Forum tells Tinubu. And
That stuff I wanted to talk about the labor unions and their threats. It's becoming like a recurring decimal, like a music that's been played far too many times.
Thank you. Absolutely correct. Federal government committed to pensioners' welfare. Finance minister bid for 17 all blocks, not for politicians but investors. Coming from minister. Lagos government announced this 40% rebate on payment of duties permit. And on page 11, you will see court affirms ICPC's power to investigate, prosecute Delta government officials. And more and more interesting stories there you will find on Daily Times this morning. Can we move on to the next spot, please?
Perhaps to wrap up with Vanguard. Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, Labour Party, PDP, Rep Afenifere kick as Umahi battles Atiku. Atiku's criticisms induced by political calculations coming from Umahi. LP asks Tinubu APC to come clean, will ensure adequate funding coming from the National Assembly. PDP condemns lies surrounding project. Afenifere wants project halted, follow due process. Representative Bamidele Salam tells federal government military withdraws troops from Okwama. Wahab cybersecurity levy will further pauperize Nigerians. Okay, Naira depreciates rather. Oh, Naira depreciates further as dollar sells to BDC's wobble. We always wondered what was going to be the sustainability potential of that move by the Central Bank of Nigeria. For how long were you going to continue selling dollar to the BDCs? Well, that's
much we can take on the papers this morning. Tomorrow we'll have more papers come to you right here on the morning show.
Absolutely.
If you look at your time, it's about 9:30. And just to give you some stories before we run out of here, did you know that somewhere in India, a woman fed her 6-year-old boy to a crocodile? Yeah.
okay.
It's not I mean, this is I saw the story was up this week, and I had to follow the story, and it was so disheartening. So what happened was the mother throws her disabled 6-year-old son into a crocodile infested river where he is mauled to death by reptiles after the father ordered her to throw the child away. So it is a very complicated situation, because I think from what happened, the woman chose to preserve her marriage over her child. That's the case here. She preferred to, protect her marriage over the child. So the child was born and he had some form of disability. Okay, and the husband kept complaining that what kind of child is this? The father just didn't like the child, and so it was crazy. And when threats come from here, and he told her what to do. you know, and she did it.
So, I mean, the issue of disabilities or how a person, the form that a person takes after they are born, a lot of people tend to forget that it is not their fault. If a child is born with a big head, a big hand, or some form of deformity, first of all, the person did not create himself. That is what a lot of people fail to understand. And it is not also the first time in history, I mean, even from the Bible times, where people with disabilities are neglected even by their parents. I remember the story of Mephibosheth, who was a king's son, but somehow because he was disabled in his feet, he was abandoned in a desert away from where the other royals were living. So it's a shameful practice that has transcended time, and it's really sad that some parents do not see or do not recognize the sanctity of life. The fact that you've given birth to a human being, I believe, should be enough. No matter the disabilities or what you feel are disadvantages, so to say, your duty as a parent is to love, is to protect, is to guide, is to guard, to guide and to guard your child from whatever that may pose as a danger to them. But when you are now the leading culprit in the more or less annihilation of a life of your child, in this case, it makes me begin to wonder if you really understand what motherhood is all about.
Okay, so according to the story, this actually happened. These are even young couples, right? So the woman is 26, the man is 27, and so it is said, according to local media, they've been having arguments regarding to her deciding to give birth to a disabled child, and he has never liked it. So he repeatedly ordered her to throw the child away, like, I don't want this child, you have to throw this child away. So it was more like, throw the child away if you still want us to be together. And due to the several talks, she had to do it. So it took neighbors who were around, because they've always fought about this child. So it took neighbors who were around, who saw her doing it, had to call the police, and the police, but unfortunately it was too late, you know, and they called the police, and they went in there, but to get the boy from the water it wasn't that easy, because I think it was already dark at the time, and so the darkness hindered the operation, and it was before they could get the body was already, so by the time they returned, this happened over a weekend. So by the time they returned on Sunday morning and found the child's body, which had showed bite marks all over. So the boy suffered severe injuries and was missing a hand.
It's a really
terrible.
tragic one. And, you know, talking about it, I mean, it's not just, someone would say, the wickedness of man. Oh, the heart of man is very wicked. But I sense a very high level of ignorance as well. It's the same like when a husband tells the wife, why are you giving me girl children? Why are you giving me girl children? I don't want girl children again. It's either you give me a boy or you go away, you know. But then again, you forget that your genetic component was very instrumental in the,
it's like it's the main thing. What you give to a woman is what she gives out.
in the genetic composition, in the conception or whatever it is. I mean, your part or your element, looking for the right words now, formed a good part of that combination, you know. So when people make arguments like that, or when they refuse to see reason, you're the one who had relations with this woman. I mean, if it's coming from a different man, then that's a whole different conversation.
You know, something
altogether.
similar happened in Nigeria actually, but this one was not throwing the child. You know, something happened similar. The man. So this particular case, the man has been complaining. His wife gave birth to the first child. The child was albino. He complained about it, and he wrote several times online, on blogs as anonymous. You know, sometimes he even shared on TikTok how he wasn't happy about it. She gave birth to the second one. The second child was also albino, and then he was like, let's just go straight to the sweetest part, which is the end. So after saying that he doesn't like his wife anymore, he no longer loves his wife, even though he admitted that his wife is a very wonderful woman to him. So he feels bad leaving her, but he hates her right now because of the albino kids, because there's no albino in his family as far as he's concerned. So where are the albino kids coming from? So he started sleeping with his maid even while he was there, and he went further to write that he's already in talks with the maid's family because the maid is already pregnant, and they're gonna get married, but he's just feeling bad for his wife. So let's now go to the sweetest part. The maid gave birth, the same maid that he felt in heaven and earth, the same maid gave birth and gave birth to an albino child. So basically, it's about what you put in. So it's either the man doesn't know his family history very well.
Yeah.
Maybe he does. He's not aware that, because let's say, for example, your wife was cheating and the first child albino, second child albino. Okay, so that was your maid cheating with the same man your wife was cheating with and gave it to albino? No. So it just means that there's probably something that he's probably not knowledgeable about. Maybe he may not be an albino. His dad may not be an albino, or his mom may not be an albino as much as he knows. What if the parents who he knows as his parents are not even his real parents? What if there was even a paternity fraud when he was even born? So he doesn't even know his real lineage, because where is the albinism coming from?
So that's why I said this speaks of ignorance on a very high level. Sometimes it's not even the fact that, maybe it's hereditary or it's part of your genetic component. Sometimes this is nature. Yeah.
Well, this is why I think that there's some kind of conversations that, so we're going to be...
A great part of what you would term abnormalities at birth, over 90%, yes, you would attribute to genes. But what of in those peculiar cases where trace the lineage? There's literally no trace of anything like that. How did they happen? There was no foul play. Nobody is cheating on anybody. How did that couple produce a child that they would term abnormal or disabled or having some form of disformity?
I believe that you cannot cheat biology. I believe you cannot cheat your DNA and the likes. I do believe that in the case of this guy, there is something that he isn't aware of. Very, very much. Because it's not just possible for you to have your wife gives birth to the first one albino, second albino, the maid you went to entangle yourself with now gives birth again to a girl, and that child is an albino. So I do believe
in this case, I'm sure if you trace down,
yes,
you're going to find somewhere in the family of that guy. Because if you want to say, what about the woman? And I'll ask you, what are the odds that both the woman and the maid
that you went to be with
would have genes of albinism in their genealogy? I mean,
and then this further goes to show that a lot of times when people are in I like to call it courtship, I don't call it dating. When people are in their courtship stage, they really don't talk about a whole lot of important things. And this is also a reference to what our guest, Prince Kevin, said the other day. You need to know, I don't know what people do when they are courting and dating is, I love you, talk your own. Have you eaten? Have you not eaten?
What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color? Is your mother a woman? Is your father a man?
Oh my goodness.
Some kind of funny things. But then you need to ask the real questions. Do you have madness in your family? Has someone ever gotten mad before?
But then again, people
even if you
may
don't
not
ask,
people may not be willing to
They may not even
divulge.
know.
No. They may not be willing to divulge such kind of what's it called now, secrets. That's why, like they used to do in the olden days, if you come forward and say, I want to marry Cynthia Agbo, your people, my people, let's say I come forward, I meet my dad, I say I want to marry Cynthia Agbo. My dad, together with my uncles and my kinsmen, they will do their own investigation into the family of Cynthia to check, oh,
Why must it be Cynthia Agbo?
Is an example.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So when they do their investigations, what happens is that even for some of those details that Cynthia Agbo might feel are not important to share with me, or might feel ashamed to share, those are the kind of things they will not find out. When they find out and tell me, I mean, depending on how much I love Cynthia Agbo, I will now confront Cynthia Agbo to say,
Do you love Cynthia Agbo?
wait, that is not the...
Okay, for example. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I will now confront Cynthia Agbo to say, see you, my people have made investigations. Why did you not tell me that in 1915, that your dad was one of the people that...
that built a big house for the first time, right?
No, this one is not your dad. That your great grandfather was one of the people that dots.
He had better be a good thing.
So these are the things you will now have to explain to me why. Okay, first of all, did you know? Why did you not tell me? So when you do investigations like that, it will help you. But then again, what you said again, very important. That does not take away the fact that you need to ask serious questions.
No, you need to ask questions
in dating relationships.
The thing is, it's so you are even going too far. Okay, you are even going too far. I remember let me just share this story. I know our time is running so fast. Let me just share this story. I remember in 2024. That was in 2019 thereabout. I was somewhere at an event, and then there was this man who runs a counseling school for intending couples and the like. So after the event, he came to meet me and he was like, oh, you spoke beautifully, we enjoyed your session and all of that, and I would like to invite you to my school. And I was like, your school? I thought people like maybe students and young people, and he was like, my school. I was like, okay, what's your school about? So he gave me the pamphlet, and I'm like, when I started, like, okay, for intending couples, that should be 2019, yeah, for intending couples. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what am I supposed to tell intending couples? I'm like, okay, if he will give me money, no problem, let's go there and see. So now, the first time, so I was scheduled for 3 visits, but after 1 visit, they're not coming back again. No, I'm serious. After 1 visit, they didn't call me back again, but they have paid me, no problem. Well, the first day I went there, I simply asked the question, beautiful, why do you guys want to get married? You could see that a lot of people don't even know why they want to get married. And so because they don't know why they want to get married, the kind of questions they'll be asking in that courtship stage will be so weird. So if you cannot sort out why the philosopher says, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So when you don't know why you want to buy a blue shirt, you just know you like this blue shirt. But if you don't know why you want to buy a blue shirt,
so liking, this is where the conversation of, oh, I love you,
liking, like our guest said the other day,
liking is not enough.
So you need to, and he says, so he spoke about a whole lot of things that they were actually, in fact, everything he said was great, and truthfully, it is something that people need to people that intend to go into things, because if all of these things are not sorted out, how can you give birth to a disabled child and you are upset, you are angry that you even wish the child to be gone? How can your wife give birth to an albino child, and instead of finding out the reasons as to why this is happening, you are hating on your wife for giving birth to an albino child, knowing fully well that now betting you put inside, now she come out outside.
So guys, let's start asking the right questions.
That is it.
How do you react when you are angry? Are you one of the people that goes into the kitchen to break all the plates there? What's your anger management level like? They may not tell you the truth at that point.
They used to break my screen.
Okay, something as important as, you guys go on a date. Let me tell you a very smart way to ask this one. The waiter brings the food. I hope salt is not SS in this food. If they don't get the hint, use your pictures and ask them, what is your genotype? Is it AS or SS? Yes, now.
So what's the difference between salt and AS?
SS now. They should have gotten, I hope salt is not SS. They should have gotten the hint.
Oh my
there.
God. Oh my God.
You know, ask, are you gay? Why
Talking,
are you gay?
Okay.
You know,
No.
I mean, when you ask, are you gay? You hope that they say no and not go ahead to explain why they are the way they are. So these are the questions.
Talking about gay, right? Talking about gay, something crazy happened. Can we have that crazy picture right here on the screen? So crazy. The husband killed himself, and he killed his wife and he killed himself after the wife found out that he was in a side relationship with a man. And this family, they have 3 kids already. Now the question now is, you see a man like this, what are the odds that he wouldn't be? I mean, just look at this face very well. What does it tell you? You saw things, but then you hoped that it wasn't true.
No. On that regard, you can't really, you know how we always have the conversation about stereotyping and how that, if somebody looks in a certain way, that means they do a particular kind of business or they live a certain kind of life.
Obviously looks like a fruity peddle, and you're telling me.
So you wouldn't blame her too much for not judging her man just based off on how he looks or how he acts. So there is that. I just want you to put that in one corner of your mind. Yeah, am I going to defend this man for defrauding and deceiving his wife? Absolutely not. But then again, I mean, it's a sad story.
A lot of times we see things, but then we want to assume that it's what we are seeing is not what it is. It happens a lot of time. It happens even in this whole.
There are also lots of times that we see red flags, and we hope that they're going to turn green.
Not just flag. We see red billboard.
You hope that somewhere along the line, there's going to be a change. Some people are even scared to have conversations with their spouses regarding things like this. Oh, I have noticed that you are this type of way, you know, in situations like this. Is this, tell me more about it, like, you know, have a conversation about it. But some people, and this is on both sides now, are scared to have conversations around that. And believe me, there are lots of spouses or lots of
so
marriages,
that the next person will not use
lots of
emotion to blackmail you,
where
make you feel like you're insensitive and you're asking the wrong questions.
It's not just the two of you who are in the marriage. There are other parties, and guess what? They may not be of your gender. Let's leave it at that.
and this goes back to say that you need to know, the way the world is now, it's pushing people to become investigators. And instead of just beautifully having a great relationship, people are turning to being investigators because people keep things to themselves. And it is in fact, during when this post was made, a lot of persons were like, why did he have to take away the wife? Because she's the one that found out what you are, and why are you taking her out? I mean, why are you even taking yourself out? It doesn't make any sense. Go and be with who you want to be with. Allow the woman stay with the kids. Now you've left these kids without a father nor a mother, which is very bad.
It spells a lot of identity crisis issues, also a lot of mental health. There's an imbalance apparently in the mental health of this man. Yeah, so it's
Look at who you are with. That's what you should take away from this conversation. You must take away something. Look at who you were with this morning.
Looking, it's not enough, or would not exactly tell you the thing.
Even the Bible says watch and pray.
Yes.
So you have to watch. A lot of people don't watch.
So for me, take the praying part seriously.
Watch.
Pray.
For me, you have to watch. And you're seeing something, don't assume that what you're seeing is not it.
Let me tell you.
Take it the way it is and do investigations.
Let's round off by me telling you a simple but very powerful prayer that you can make with regards to relationships. God, if it is not for me, take it away.
It doesn't always work that way.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't work that way.
Yes, it does. And it works in the most mysterious and miraculous ways.
Okay.
Believe me, you can take it to the bank. You're gonna withdraw.
My own, I'll tell you, take this today, but Thursday. You see him pouting his lip. You see him doing all of those things. My love.
You're stereotyping.
You see him using flower filter on his Snapchat. Girl.
You're stereotyping.
Really? How many masculine men will be using flower filter?
Okay, it's time for us to go.
How many? Tell me. How many masculine men are using flower filter?
It's time for us to go.
Girl, I'm telling you, from one sister to another sister. Great. We can go now. Yes, we can go.
Alrighty then. Remember to follow your favorite people on our social media platforms as well as the official Rapid TV. We're on www.arabianradiotv.com 24/7 live streaming on that particular one. And tomorrow we're going to be here bright and early, I believe.
Of course.
And guess what?
We're going to be here.
It's going to be a Friday.
Seems like he has lots of things planned out.
My name is Cynthia Agbo. Our production team, big ups to you. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.